Hi everyone, welcome to Aurora.foretells. As you know that we are in the midst of a big political crisis. Since I was getting a lot of requests for whether there will be a peaceful discussion between Russia and Ukraine, will there be a third world war? When will pandemic end? How is the year looking like post this major astrological alignment that's happening on February 28th, wherein we will see a conjunction of Saturn, Mars, Venus, Mercury and Moon in Capricorn. I'm not an astrologer, but from tarot perspective, I can throw some light on how the year will look like post these alignments. So starters, I do see a lot of political tension. There will be a warlike situation not only between Russia and Ukraine, but there will be a warlike situation between 3 or more countries. But will we have a third world war? No, we won't. So stay tuned to this reading because I would talk about the issues that are going to crop up, which will not only be related to just war, but way more than the political crisis that we are facing today. So if I really talk about what is going to be the core of this year, how will societies change? How will leadership change? There is definitely going to be a rise of spirituality. So people will definitely focus more on mindfulness. People will focus on spiritual practices. But this will also increase a lot of superstitions. This will make our societies way more conservative, way more conventional. And there will also be a rise of leadership, which will expect you to conform to the norm. So there will be more polarization. There will be more extremist groups which will be cropping up. From political crisis perspective, there are going to be more issues cropping up between different countries. There is going to be tension in the air. There are going to be more stalemate situations. There will be countries who will try to encroach the boundaries. So there is going to be more political rift. There are going to be political tensions, and this will primarily be due to 3 countries, and they may have more border tension. I don't see much of an involvement of other countries, so it may not lead to a third world war. And I do hope and pray that we don't reach such a situation ever. Since we have an 8 of Swords over here, there will be more of bigger nations bullying the smaller ones. And while there will be a certain amount of support coming in from bigger economies, super economies like US, institutions like UN, but we will see that most of the countries will just mind their own business. Now, if I talk about the current situation which we are facing with Russia and Ukraine, there is going to be some mediation which is going to happen. Russia will come to a midpoint. However, Russia will try to manipulate the situation and will have a say in what happens next. So overall, if I really define the energy of 2022, it is going to be a very turbulent atmosphere. It is going to be very chaotic, and there are going to be a lot of conflicts. There will be more protests across the globe. There is going to be rise in immigrants. There is going to be another set of refugee crisis. There will also be some kind of issues where it comes to the seaports or the sea route. There could also be attacks on the naval bases. Sea could be one of the starting points of political tensions. There could also be secret weapons being made during 2022. And since now we are moving towards more of digital era, there could be a high chance of a cybersecurity breach. It could be a cybersecurity attack. So this could probably be one of those secret weapons, since we are shifting into a very different era where the political attacks or terrorist attacks may be in a completely different form. We have this chaos and conflict over here, which means that there is going to be a consistent chaos and conflict throughout 2022, which means one thing ends, the other comes up. Things will really move fast. So it's not like we're going to get stuck with one problem, but the problems aren't ending. So if we get over with one problem, or we are still sorting one problem, there'll be another to tackle. The financial markets may be really volatile, as we have already seen, but the situation is not going to be as bad as 2008. The markets would be volatile, but they will also be able to pick up. There could also be some kind of innovation coming from a small country. There is going to be a breakthrough in environmental science. I also see some kind of an innovation coming up in farming. Agri-tech is going to get really big. There will be rise in poaching of animals. So I think countries really have to be very careful, because this could lead to extinction of some major species. There could also be some kind of a scam coming up, which could be related to a big brand and which will lead to big industries coming under a lot of pressure. Now, if I talk about the pandemic, the travel will open up, but let's remember we have a moon over here. We can see a rise in cases again in August. So let's all be really cautious. It is going to be a slow progress, and the virus may last till 2023, that is next year. When it comes to people and culture, with High Priestess reversed over here, there will be increase in superficiality, there will be increase in shallowness, there will be lack of depth. So there's going to be increase in toxicity, be it at your workplace, be it in your relationships, be it in your neighborhood. So it is going to be a very cutthroat society, which is going to lead to more burnouts. So we will have a lot of mental health issues, emotional health issues coming up. I'll come up to some highlights in terms of countries. If I talk about UK, another shift which I also see, which may happen this year, is related to the royal family. There is a high possibility that Prince Charles may become the king, and due to health issues, Queen may leave the throne. There is some kind of passing of the power happening. It's like end of a cycle and a new era to begin. Royal family again may be in spotlight for wrong reasons. So there could be some scandals again cropping up. Europe, things will start improving in the second half of the year. I think the first half of the year has been a little volatile, and the second half of the year would really improve. There will be a resolve to the energy crisis that they are having. There will be new treaties and trades. The market in general will improve in Europe. US, I think there is going to be a lot of depressive energy floating in the country. There is a depression coming in the economy, but more so it is also from the people perspective. I think there's going to be a huge shift where it comes to the thinking of the US citizens. We have seen the wave of great resignations, and it's only going to increase in rest of the year. People would shift from full-time jobs to more of a gig economy. US is going to be one of those countries which will still try and fight against the bully, but they will also not meddle too much, but they will try and help. Canada, I somehow feel that there could be a change in the immigration laws. So that's something which is striking me. So there could be more stricter rules where it comes to immigration laws. Australia, I think there's going to be more of an autocratic, conform-based leadership. And I think for some time, people will not try to understand this. People will not know what's really happening. There's going to be a lot of faith in the leadership till they realize that the political agendas are not really working for them. There could be some kind of an internal unrest. There could also be a fall of government in Australia. From an environmental crisis perspective, also again Australia has to be very careful since we have had really bad fires in 2019. So there is some kind of an environmental crisis coming up in Australia, and there has to be more environmental friendly policies formed by the government over there. One region which is going to really see a lot of positive results and a lot of positivity is going to be MIA. So there is going to be improved relationships. There is some kind of better political equations that are coming up. I also see Africa having some kind of trouble where it comes to economy, and there would be definitely more need of grants in Africa. There could be some kind of an environmental crisis as well coming up. Most importantly, it could be a water-related crisis. Another thing which really strikes me is there could be a huge political transformation in Africa. There could be a change of power coming in. The political chaos finally leading to some kind of a settlement in the countries in African continent. So that's all for now. Let's also remember that we all have manifestation power and we all have a free will. So we can all pray, we can all manifest a better future for all of us, a better society for all of us, and more happiness and peace across the world. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Much love.